Hey guys, this is just a neutral smoky eye that I paired with the bold red lip. If you like this look, then just keep watching. First, I'm going to start out with my Maybelline Fit Me foundation in the shade Buff Beige, and I'm using my Real Techniques Expert Face Brush for this, and I'm just doing patting motions on my face, just buffing that into the skin and making sure that it's all blended out. You want to make sure you moisturize and prime your face before you start foundation. And now I'm just adding a second coat to get a little bit more coverage. And now I'm taking my Maybelline Fit Me concealer in the shade Fair, and I'm putting that in a triangle shape under my eyes. That's just gonna brighten my face up and just make you look more awake. And this concealer is actually a dupe for the NARS Creamy Radiant Concealer. It's pretty much the same thing for half the price. I love it. I'm just going to take that down the bridge of my nose, the corners of my mouth, and up on my forehead and below my cheekbones. And then I'm taking my Maybelline Fit Me foundation stick in the shade Caramel Toffee, and I'm putting that in the hollows of my cheeks. And I'm going to bring that up on my forehead and the sides of my nose, and I'm also going to put that underneath my bottom lip for some extra poutiness, if you know what I'm saying. Okay, so now I'm using my Real Techniques sponge, and I dampened that before I started using it. It just makes the application a bit easier, and I'm blending in the highlighter shade first. You don't want to mix it all together. You'll get the contour shade in places that you don't want contoured. So I just start off with the highlighter shade first, and then I go in and I blend my contour. And I'm just using patting motions. I want the product to stay exactly where I put it. Just blend, 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 blend that out. And now I'm just using my Real Techniques powder brush, and I'm using Rimmel Stay Matte powder in the shade Silky Beige, and I'm just going to set everything. And you always want to make sure you set your cream products with the powder, so that way they don't move throughout the day. And then I'm taking my Hoola Benefit bronzer on my Sigma F40 large angled contour, and I'm setting the contoured parts of my face. And now I'm taking the shade Purely Naked, and I'm using my Morphe MB20 brush, and I'm using that just kind of as a base for the rest of the shadows that I'm going to use for this look. You always want to start with lighter colors and work your way to the darker colors. And now I'm taking the shade Creme Brulee by Geek, and I'm using that on a Morphe MB23 tapered blending brush. I love this thing. And I'm just applying that in the crease in windshield wiper motions. And this is going to be my transition color for the rest of my look. Now I'm taking the shade Peach Smoothie, also by Geek, because I'm obsessed with their shadows. And this looks intimidating at first, but once you put it on the eye, it just really warms everything up. It makes it look really pretty. Next, I'm taking the shade Cocoa Bear by Geek, and I'm using my Morphe MB18 pencil brush, and I'm just kind of outlining this V shape on the outer corner of my eye. I think everyone should have a pencil brush in their kit. I don't know how I did makeup without it, honestly. It makes life so much easier when doing your eye makeup. And I'm not really precisely doing this because I'm going to go back and blend everything out later. And the same thing on the other eye, of course. And I'm just applying another layer of shadow just to deepen the look up. And I'm also smoking out my lower lash line with that same Cocoa Bear color. And I'm using the original Naked palette. I love this thing still. I use it all the time. Obviously, I've hit pan on the shade Half Baked, which is the prettiest golden color. And I'm just going to use my fingertip and apply that all over the lid. Going back in with Peach Smoothie just to blend everything out and make sure there's no harsh lines. You really want to get yourself a good blending brush. This Morphe one is awesome. And just blend, 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 blend back and forth. And now I'm smoking out my lower lash line again. And I'm using a Sigma pencil brush for that. And now I'm using the Maybelline eyestudio gel liner in Blackest Black. And I'm using a Morphe MB29 angled brush for this. And I'm just kind of drawing the initial line first. And then I'm pulling that down, kind of in a triangle shape. And then I go and I fill it in. And I drag that along my lash line very closely. You don't want there to be like a white line in between your lashes and your liner. You want to make sure you get it very close to the lash line. And I did the other eye. Now I'm going to line my tight line with Maybelline eyeliner in Onyx. And this just helps it look a little more smoky, make sure there's no like white line, everything's blended, and I like the way it looks with the tight line lined. And now I'm going to line my waterline with the same pencil. And I'm just going to blend out my lower lash line with the Sigma E30 pencil brush. And I'm using that shade Creme Brulee to just blend everything out down there. And now I'm taking my Ardell Lashes in 113 and adding glue to those. And you want to make sure that the glue is tacky before you put it on your eye. If you put it on your eye right after the glue, it's just going to slide around. So you want to make sure it's tacky and sticky, then put it on your eye. And try to get it as close to the lash line as possible. Be patient. I know this can be tricky, but once you do it a couple of times, you'll get the hang of it. And I put the other one on. And now I'm going to add mascara. Usually I put mascara on before lashes, but it was early and I totally forgot. So we're going to just go with it. This is the Maybelline Lash Sensational in black. And there's my kitty, Mr. Peepers. Look at him, fat boy. I love him. And I'm going to add a coat to my lower lashes. Cannot forget those. And now I'm just blending everything. I'm using that Rimmel Stay Matte powder again. And now I'm using my Bobbi Brown Calypso palette, and I'm using the far left shade, which is called Pretty Coral, and I'm using my Morphe MB3 brush. And I'm just adding that to my cheekbones for some color. Next, I'm using my Nye Luxury powder in the shade Banana, and I'm putting that on a sponge, and I'm just carving out my cheekbones down there, making it look a little more sharp and defined. And I did the other side already, and now I'm just going to take that Real Techniques powder brush and blend it all together. Now I'm taking Becca highlighter in Opal. I love this stuff. It's my Holy Grail highlighter. It is so beautiful. And I'm putting that on the tops of my cheekbones. It gives you the most beautiful glow. I love it. And now I'm taking Maybelline lip liner in the shade Red, and I'm just lining my lippies. And now I'm taking MAC's Ruby Woo. This is one of my all-time favorite reds. It's just the perfect classic red. I love it. It's so bold. I'm obsessed with it. And that's the final look. If you guys liked it, then just subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.